So I can't help myself. I have to, I'm a scientist, I have to share with you a little bit of science. And I don't know how I advance the slides here.
You tell me, Jim, why don't you get the mic? You want to come back over here where you can see it?
Yeah, well, I can see it. All right. Anyway, okay, let's have the next slide. So, so this is the first patient I ever met that received the medicine that I had developed. This woman named Sharon Belvin. She was 22 years old. She had just graduated from high school, from college, and had just gotten engaged. And she had trouble breathing, and it was because she had she had melanoma. She had 31 metastases in her lung. Next slide shows she also had a 1.5 cm metastasis in her brain. This was a lethal diagnosis. The prognosis then, if you're diagnosed with this kind of disease at the time, your median survival was 7 months after diagnosis. And so anyway, she went on a trial. Next slide shows that she failed a number of chemotherapies. She failed radiation therapy to her brain. She failed everything they threw at her. And in 2004, she was at Sloan Kettering, and I was there, and she came in, she got a single injection of the drug we developed. Her tumors completely went away. And the pathologist that had been examining her when her oncologist called and he said, I want an updated list. The guy said, what the hell happened to her? Her tumors are all gone. And anyway, they were. And so I met her that day. Her doctor called me down. And so this is, 2016. She's now had 2 kids and living her life. And, is a complete responder. She's basically cured of this disease. Like I said, and a close friend, actually, when I got the Nobel Prize, I asked her to go with me to Stockholm, and she did. And anyway, she's a beautiful person and still doing fine. She's 16 years out now after a single round of treatment. It's cured of melanoma. Anyway, next slide just shows, why did we want to do immunotherapy? Well, when I was in college at UT Austin, I took an immunology course, the professor said, there's been these cells discovered, they're T cells, and they go throughout your body. They go through all your tissues. They go through you, and they examine all your cells, and they see if something's wrong, and if they do, they deal with it. And I asked him, I just said, I want to come and talk to you. I went to his office, and I said, yeah, how does that work? And he said, we don't have any clue. We don't know anything about these. And I said, that's perfect. I'm going to work on these. And after a while, I thought about cancer, because what's cancer? Well, cancer is caused by mutations, by smoking, case of melanoma, UV exposure from sunburns and stuff. And so you get a lot of mutations, and the cancer cells then get mutations in certain pathways that normally stop them from growing, and you change them, and it tells the cell to grow. And that's cancer. That's where you get it. And so, there's the people have try to target those those specific mutations, but there's so many of them, it just really doesn't work. But immunotherapy works for 3 reasons, really. One is specificity. The T cells recognize anything that's different in your cells. That's what they do. They go and they say, something's wrong here. And, that's an interesting concept, philosophically it's an interesting concept, but biologically it's really, how do they do that? How do they recognize when something is wrong? And they do that by knowing what your cells should have and recognizing what shouldn't be there. And they do that because you've got probably 100 million different T cells in your body that can recognize different things. And you've only got a few. But they can recognize anything that nature throws at it, mutations from whatever source they come from, and they can deal with it. And so they have specificity for change. Once you've got them for the rest of your life. If you get a T cell that recognizes something, a number of them become memory T cells, so they stay with you forever. And finally, adaptability, because your immune system is a living thing. Your thymus is throwing out new T cells all the time, and it can change with the changes in the cancer cell. And so the bottom line is the immune system is a match for all the mutability and the genetic instability of cancer that defeats any single drug or any single radiation that you throw at it. The immune system can deal with that. So, next